NBA champion Eddie House joining us now. All right, Eddie, put some context on this for us. How afraid of the West how afraid should the rest of the West be of the Lakers?
Well, they should be extremely afraid for this reason. They have a legitimate chance, just like Phoenix Suns have a legitimate chance. And also, let me tell you who else, the Golden State Warriors. So whoever is playing each other, you definitely going to be worried about them. I mean, and the way that defensively the Lakers got better since the trade deadline. Again, I've been singing Rob Pelinka's praise for what he's done with that roster after All-Star break, getting all the pieces to fit in with exactly what they needed, getting rid of the pieces that didn't fit and added pieces that did. They play great defense. Offensively, you know, AD is a monster. But the key with the Lakers is health, and it's always health. And can they stay healthy throughout the duration of the playoffs? If they stay healthy, they're a dangerous team. They wouldn't be my favorite to come out of the West, but they will be right there and have a great opportunity.
I'm trying to figure, I need somebody to help me understand. I've been told for 7 years since I've been here doing this, and I've heard for the last 15, 16 years, nobody fears LeBron James. Nobody's afraid of LeBron James. So why would teams now be fearful, be afraid of a guy in year 20 at the age of 38?
Who says nobody?
You did. They feared Jordan. Rio Chalmers just...
Well, now you took it up all another level.
Time out. Rio Chalmers just came out, had a diatribe, and they said nobody feared LeBron. And you was out here, you like, yeah, you're right. Nobody feared LeBron. So now why should they be afraid? Why should they be fearful of a man in year 20 at the age of 38?
Nobody thinks he's a cold-blooded killer a la that GOAT up in Chicago. Nobody thinks that.
Skip.
Okay.
He is that.
Okay, but he gets to play the Western Conference this year, which is the opposite of cold-blooded killers. It's soft-hearted killers all the way up the ladder.
Well, if he's not that, so why should they be afraid of him then? Okay, you just said it. He's not a cold-blooded killer.
No.
Nobody thinks of him like that.
No.
So why should they be afraid?
Because he's playing at the highest level any 38-year-old in year 20 has ever played.
Okay, how about this here? He played at the highest level at 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. When has he not played at a high level, Skip?
He is 4-6 in the NBA Finals. The other guy was 6-0 with 6 in.
He only got the 6? He only got the 6 finals?
Yeah.
If he's what you said he is, he got to be at least 13.
Well, he got sent away for 2 years.
No, he went away.
Yeah, it was a hiatus.
He went away.
Forced hiatus.
See, my guy don't do that.
Yeah,
my guy stood right there, stood right in the fire.
Yeah, he stood right in the fire
Through
this
the fire.
year. And the last 3 years, your guys finished 7th in the West, 11th in the West, and 7th in the West.
Whoa. The last 3 years, my guys won the NBA title, made the playoffs.
That's 4 years.
So you tried to, don't do that. That was a part of that season.
Okay.
Now.
So, are you going to agree with Eddie or not? Because you are fearful. You speak out of both sides of the mouth because now you're saying, it's LeBron James. They should be scared to death of him. And then the next thing you say is, I give him a 15% chance.
No.
15%
You
chance.
told me nobody is fearful of him. If nobody is fearful of him, why should they be afraid in the West, regardless of how diluted the West may be? If you aren't fearful, you're not fearful.
Because they're afraid they're not as good as this guy. Go ahead, Eddie.
I believe it's the team. It's the way the team is constructed and how they're playing now, right? They got a guy at the point guard position in D'Lo. He's a 3-level scorer. He can make plays in the pick and roll with him and Anthony Davis. That's a tough guard. What are you going to do? You're going to play your drop coverage. He's going to attack the big, pull up for his mid-range jump shot, or get all the way in the paint and drop it off to AD, who's going to be rolling down the paint as the big is taking D'Lo. Or he could kick it out to the corner to Austin Reeves, who could knock down shots. I think people are worried about how good this team is now, from All-Star break to right now, healthy to right from not being healthy to being healthy. That's a team that you have to say, hey, man, you got to take it in consideration. Not only do they have LeBron James, who averaged the most points that he's averaged in his whole career this year, which is ridiculous. And then they got Anthony Davis, who is healthy, who's been off the charts. Schroeder buying into his role. D'Lo being able to play he weights. Austin Reeves coming into his own. I like what Gabriel's been doing coming off the bench, rebounding the basketball. All the pieces. Vanderbilt on the wing playing defense. Hachimura. I'm naming all these guys who are buying into what they're exactly are supposed to do for this team to be successful, knowing that LeBron and AD offensively can take them to the promised land.
Shannon, I first guessed this. The day after the trade deadline, I told you the skies, the heavens have opened for you. Rob Pelinka, as Eddie just said, should be executive of the year. He turned your team upside down. He pointed it north after it was headed straight south. He got out from under Russell Westbrook and got rid of Patrick Beverley, and you should have. The decks were cleared. Every piece now fits, and you still got this guy, right? You got this guy
that nobody fears
at a high level, and it's because they fear how bad they are up the ladder. All these teams are flawed and vulnerable all the way up the ladder to Denver. They're the 1 seed. They have the 6th best odds to win the championship. That's just ridiculously bad. Memphis is the 2 seed in the West. They have the 8th best odds. You're better than Memphis. You're better than Denver. I think you're a little better than Golden State. You're not better than the Phoenix Suns with Kevin Durant, but they have big health ifs stuck all over them because you keep pointing out their injury histories would scream that one of their big 3 will get hurt before this is. They actually have a big 4, but somebody's probably
DeAndre Ayton ain't in the 4.
On any given night, he can be a big 4th. The point is, I think you're going to get to the Western Conference Finals because you're going to beat Memphis in 6. You're going to beat Golden State in 6. You're going to lose in 7 to Kevin Durant at Phoenix. That's what's going to happen, and that will be a respectable run. That will be a nice exclamation point that you put on passing Kareem to become the all-time leading scorer.
But you make it seem like we're done. We're not done.
Okay.
Did you see what we did? We averaged 29. We come back next year and average another 29. Okay. We getting a chip before we walk.
Well, are you?
Yes.
I don't know. This is probably your best shot.
Skip, I can't roll with you saying that they just gonna get past Golden State. Like, you can't. Steph Curry is as nice as a guy that everybody thinks that. I don't know him off the court, but on the court, everybody just thinks he's a fun-loving, nice guy. No, he's a stone-cold killer. And I seen it with my own eyes, Game 4 last year in Boston, sitting courtside, and I've seen it in his eyes. And I've seen that look, and only a handful of guys I played against had that look, that killer look, and he is a stone-cold killer. They're finally coming together. As far as offensively, they've always been great offensively, but they're getting a little better defensively. And in the addition of Andrew Wiggins, that's huge for them defensively. We're not going to say that he's going to come in and offensively be a juggernaut offensively after missing 2 months, but defense is something. If you're in decent shape, defense is a want thing. It's an effort thing. And if he has the want, and if he has the effort, and if he does have the conditioning, I think he'll be able to go out there and defend multiple positions. So I'm not just going to say the Lakers are going to get past Golden State. I actually think that that's going to be probably the hardest series for whoever comes out of that. I believe that will be who will be representing the Western Conference. So whoever comes out of that series right there, to me, will be representing the Western Conference in the finals.
Eddie, Golden State lost 30 road games. It looked to me like Golden State never. Well, go ahead.
They only got to win one on the road. They only got to win on the road one time. And then they take home court advantage.
Yeah, well, I'll bet it, but you're going to have to win more than one road game to win a series.
True that. You could win two. I mean, I'm telling you this. I am not putting anything past the Golden State Warriors. If I was worried about any team that my Boston Celtics would be playing, would be the Golden State Warriors. Every other team in the West, I feel like this. If the Celtics are able to get past Milwaukee or get past whoever they have to play in the first round, and you shaking your head, no, you see them just blow them out by 40 the other day.
We flipped.
Wait, was Giannis out there?
Yeah. Oh,
was their whole squad out there?
Hey, Eddie, don't do that, because we saw y'all take a couple of 40-point, 30-point, 40-point losses this year too. So don't trip.
We ain't taking no 30-point. We might have blew a 28-point lead.
No, y'all
we was up 28 and blew it. But when did we get beat by 40?
Y'all didn't get beat by 40, but a couple of 20s. And y'all look at y'all record over the last 15, 16 games, Eddie.
Hey, you know what? Defensive efficiency, offensive efficiency, and net rating. We're 2-2-1. You know, the last two teams that did that, I think, was Golden State, and where'd they end up? Champions. So on paper, we look like a great basketball team. On paper, we look like a team, and then the numbers bear that out as well.
Okay, Eddie, we got to get you on record. Are you predicting Golden State wins the West over Phoenix?
This is my prediction. Whoever comes out of the second round between the Lakers and Golden State will represent. That's who I'm saying.
Wait, so
Whoever comes out of that series is going to be in the finals.
okay, so you're saying one of those two teams, whoever emerges, will beat Phoenix in the conference finals.
Yes, I believe they will beat Phoenix in the conference
record
finals.
is
I'm
Eddie
on
Harris.
the record.
You heard what he said?
I'm on the record.
Yeah, and he lives in Phoenix, Arizona. Okay.
That's all right.
Yeah.
You better put that house in
I'm about to go
LLC.
outside in a minute.
And you better
worry about that.
You better put that house in LLC so don't nobody know where you stay.
No, man, hey, man, I go outside. I'm not worried about nobody out here.
Bold predictions. I love it, Eddie. Thanks so much for joining us today. We appreciate it. And I'm
Thanks for
glad
having me, guys.
Eddie brought
Take
up
care.
the East, guys, because we need to talk about the Heat. Do you think they're going to make a deep playoff push? Let's talk about Spo and his squad coming up next. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.